Hello, everybody. I thought since I am sequestered right now, along with a lot of other people, thought I'd just do a simple, short little video of kind of like a little bit of hangout video. But I got my elixir right here, some lovely coffee, and lately a lot of artists, specifically some independent designer toy artists, have been releasing some free downloadable coloring pages of their characters and toys and stuff like that. There's some online that you can purchase for pretty cheap prices and get like an entire book of coloring pages, but there's some other ones that have just been releasing like a few pages, and I think even some coloring contests out there that I might actually try to enter into. So I thought I'd just do a few of those and maybe hang out, chit chat. I printed out a few different ones, nice variety. This is probably the one that most people recognize. This is Cause. And this is, his character slash figure, Cause companion, kind of sort of floating in the ocean there. And then we have Quix, his tech something or other, I'm not sure. I'm not too into this artist character. Don't know really much about it. Not really into like the whole hype type stuff. But still a cool design, and I think it's a great design for coloring. Really nice, sharp, thick lines and stuff like that. And then we have Pogola by, I believe the artist, oh yeah, right here, Dan. And I think this is one of the contests. And then we have this one, which I believe is also part of a contest. And this is Hikari Bambi. Not sure the name of the character. Let's get started. Go ahead and start with this one. So, how's everybody doing out there? Everybody doing good? Feel free to comment, in the comments section. I will try to read any comments that I get and respond to them. But I hope everybody out there is doing good and staying safe and whatnot. Taking proper precautions, staying inside as much as you can. I know it's tougher for some people than it is for others. To stay inside for this much time, but a lot of us are, all trying to do it together, so just hang in there. My thoughts go out to you and your families. Hope everybody's doing okay. And then I thought I'd also kind of talk about some of the stuff that I've been doing to try to pass the time. Other than coloring, I've been listening to a lot of podcasts, and in the past few years, I've been really getting into like listening to the spoken word. They have Audible now, audio books on tape. They have a pretty good, cheap plan through them, but most of the time I like to listen to like a few different podcasts, so I thought maybe I'd recommend a few. in case anybody out there is interested in them as well. Some of my favorites are Tiger Belly, which is Bobby Lee and Kalila's podcast. And they actually kind of turned me on to the new Bad Friends podcast. The two of them together, they make a really good team, kind of bouncing things off of each other. I also like the Gus and Eddie podcast. I like listening to that, which is Gus Johnson and Eddie Burback. They're two YouTubers that are friends and collaborators. Some toy-related ones that I can definitely recommend that I've talked about a few on here before is the Marsham Toy Hour. That's a really good podcast. Those are available on the Toy Geeks Network on YouTube, and then I think they're on Spotify as well. That's a really good, consistent, pretty well consistent toy podcast. And then Giant Robot is a newish toy podcast. That's a good one. That's Luke Chu and can't remember. It might be Eric Nakamura. I'm butchering his name, but he's, I believe, the owner or one of the owners of Monkey King Toy Store. That's a good one. And then Urban Robot Cat is a very new one. I think they have it's not too new anymore. I think they have 20 episodes now because they've just been very consistent with uploading. But those are some really good toy podcasts to listen to. And then Toy Geeks Behind the Counter have been doing some live streams of Toy Geeks behind their desks at home. So I've been watching that. This, by the way, is supposed to look like the moon reflecting off the water. It's not supposed to look like pee, but I don't know, it kind of does. But, oh well. The Joe Rogan Experience. That's another, very popular one that a lot of people know about. That's a really good podcast. What's some other good ones that I listen to? Oh, one of my favorites, other than Tiger Belly, is Chris D'Elia's podcast, Congratulations. That one's really good. That one's been going on for a while. He doesn't typically have guests. It's normally just him. Kind of like a stream of consciousness podcast, but he's just hilarious and, talks about different things that he sees on Instagram and YouTube and Twitter and stuff like that, or current issues going on and stuff like that. But really funny, really good podcast. Another one is Cold Ones, which is Max Mofo and Anything for Views, which are two YouTubers, and then Anything for Views, he does Twitch as well, I believe. He's a Twitch streamer, or at least he used to be. I'm not really up on that, but that's their podcast. But I've been fans of them for a while. we actually have a new Cooking with Johnny G video. Just went up like 3 days ago. So if you get a chance, check that out. Share it if you can. And then there's a whole Cooking with Johnny G playlist available too. I believe there's 8 videos on there now. So that would be a good one to kind of get into because, you know, people are stuck at home and, you know, not everybody out there is too, you know, experienced with cooking. So, you know, what better way to learn than from someone that used to be a chef. My dad actually used to be a professional chef. So, you know, what better way to learn than from a professional? And this kind of like meditative coloring it's therapeutic. You know, you can do it with just complete silence, or you could put on some nice relaxing music in the background, or even like I've been talking about, put a podcast on in the background or the radio. There's a morning show that I really like called The Billy Madison Show, and they're actually a syndicated radio program, so you can actually access it in a lot of different states of the U.S. You can access it. You know, if it doesn't come in on your station, they stream it online, and I believe have a podcast type format where they re-upload shows online. So, catch you on the next one.